What's going on, everyone? I'm Chris Baker.
And I'm Ty Backer.
Welcome to episode 171 of Behind the ToolBelt with TC Backer Construction.
TC Backer. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, solar. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, solar. TC Backer, TC Backer.
Behind the Tool Belt is sponsored by Lead Scout. Find out more at leadscoutapp.com.
Roofers, you want at least 5 solid lead gen tactics building chemistry. Let's say you have door knocking, referral systems, job site branding, and you add in aggressive SEO, paid ads, and boom! Smells like more leads. Hookagency.com.
TC Backer, TC Backer.
Boom. TC Backer Construction family. It is roofing season, man.
Yes, it is.
Beautiful here in Pennsylvania. We got the wonderful Ken Younce, man.
That's right. The Roof Ninja. I love that.
I do too,
Yeah.
man. I love that.
No way. You never retired.
I could have used you today, man.
Yeah, we
I
could.
was on a steep ass roof this morning, man, and I'm not on roofs every day anymore. I could have used a ninja.
No doubt.
For sure.
No doubt. No doubt. So, Chris, yes, we missed you.
Yeah. missed
For
it.
sure. I'm glad to be back in the studio. Thank you for staying home and holding down the
Hey,
fort.
man, TC Backer is more busy right now than I think that we ever have been in the 5 years that I've been here. And we're just now starting to get into roofing season. So I'm really excited for what we have going on. It's good to have you guys back. I mean, you guys have been on the road for, it feels like 6 months, man.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. It's close to it. I know a couple of us have been on the road for a minute. It feels good to be home. I was talking to John today. It feels good to get re-inundated, and acclimated back to the roofing, TC Backer roofing, to try to split your brain when you're on the road. And I think I did a pretty good job, but it was very tiring emotionally, physically, and spiritually, to be honest with you. I started to miss my family, my dogs. My dogs still don't even know how to act right with me being there. I don't think they know who I am. They think I'm some strange dude sleeping in Jana's bed.
Yeah.
No, not that bad. Yeah, I do. Keep them from biting me. But no, they really, like, they're neurotic. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know where to sleep. They're all trying to get as close as they can to me, and they're starting to calm down, but you can definitely tell they miss me. Jana, Rocket, Skylar has missed me, which is a really good feeling. Like, I have a 2-year-old granddaughter that just adores me.
Yeah.
Like, worships the ground that I walk on. And honestly, I don't know why. She just does. So I'm her hero at such a young age. It's a great feeling. I saw her tonight for a little bit, got to go home, spend some time with her, and watered. We bought a potted pine tree for a Christmas tree this year. I didn't get it in the ground yet. So we were out there. I was showing her how to water it. And, spray it, because it's like, they like to get all wet, like it's raining out. So act like it's raining out. So she's got the hose and she's getting all wet and I'm getting wet. And I said, but you got to get it down around the trunk, make sure it gets the water moisture down in there. And it's nice. It's good to be home. I can't express the gratitude enough by being home. The fantastic job that you guys did.
Dude,
I mean,
the team, man, the team, everyone involved. I mean, not only, where you guys going, but, you got to give a shout out to the team that pulled together and filled in the shoes for Sammy while she was gone.
100%.
plays a huge part in that office.
Oh yeah.
And what goes on. And like, you know, a lot of people don't understand all the back end work that, you know, the people that don't really get the credit very much,
Mhm.
and how much has to be in sync. How many people have to be in sync to make sure that invoices are getting paid, things are getting invoiced.
Yeah.
VPOs are going out, like just all this
Payroll
stuff that
being turned in, like
payroll,
everything.
Like there's so much, man.
Yeah.
There's so much. And
Yeah,
the team,
everyone's got to
really
work in
pulled together,
unison.
man.
You know what I mean? You
Sure.
nailed it, you know, and the team did. And then big shout out to Ippy and Vic and Javi that behind the camera the entire time we were out there.
Yeah.
Glenn at times, John,
Yeah.
that came with us a couple times, and just everybody did a fantastic job. And it's nice to know that we didn't have to be here, you know, for the company to continue to grow.
Man.
Right. You guys were the driving force years ago. It was, and I hate to say me, but years ago, I felt like it was me that was the driving force, but it's nice to know that it's not me and I'm not alone, and that you guys are now the driving force behind this engine, and you know, the people that it's attracting and we're attracting. And, you know, our brand has reached other states and because of social media.
Yeah.
Right. And we're cashing those checks that our ass are writing. Like,
Absolutely.
we're not out here touting, you know, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. You know, we're just stand back and watch.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Kind of thing. We're not showing you how big our socks are.
Yeah.
We're just doing stuff. We're making it happen. And it's because of guys like Ken that came on and you, what, 5-6 years now, and everybody else, Glenn and Stacy and Kim. And I wish I had the whole list of the 70 plus people.
Yeah. It's crazy.
To just thank everybody. But know this, and then we'll kind of get onto a topic here. But the wealth builders thing, and I think I may have touched on this last week, and I talked to John about this today. I've been struggling with posting something about the wealth builders, and I've been contemplating what Deshaun told us a couple years ago. Are you humble? Are you being humble, or are you hiding?
Right.
I'm not doing neither.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I feel some kind of way about not being able to take the entire team there with us to be awarded that award, or to accept that award. Right. So when it does finally arrive, right, because that cheap piece of plastic or whatever it was that they allowed us all to take a picture with, it wasn't even our award. Right.
Yeah.
When it does finally, the real ones show up here, that we want to do like photo ops with it, like as a team, as small groups, as a whole group, and then share it and us all celebrate receiving the President's Award, right? Which only 1.5%, it's not actually not quite 1.5% of the roofers in the nation can become Master Elite, let alone only 26 of us in the nation receive that award. 26, 2 of us in Pennsylvania, the great state of Pennsylvania. MCH out of Pittsburgh, MCH Ugly Roof, the guys from Ugly Roof. I apologize if I butchered your name up, but great guys, the Merediths, the Ty Meredith, junior, senior, Jonathan Brose, great guys. They also won the award as well. But when we do finally receive it, I don't know when, but as a team, we're going to celebrate that together.
It's a team victory, man.
Right. Like a day we get it, the following day, like we're shutting down shop at noon. Everyone's going to show up here. Let's have a big cookout and let's celebrate this thing together as a team.
Hell yeah.
So, anyhow, big shout out to everybody. Thank you for your hard work and dedication.
Well, Ty, before you get on whatever topic you want to bring up tonight, just me being here the last couple of days, I just want to kind of emphasize for people that haven't really been around Ty's team at, you know, where we're at, you know, here at the office, where you can just walk around and get a vibe from office to office, and just walk in. Before you walk around the corner, you hear conversations and people laughing and enjoying themselves, man. And it's when I met you through Revolt, and then when I saw you guys out at shows, and I saw your team and how everybody was, it just stood out to me. Like, man, the culture there's got to be amazing. And just to you know, go through the process of talking with you, and I've been talking with you since I met you. You know, we've just kind of touched base every now and then, and sometimes about roofing, sometimes about other stuff, but just stayed in touch, man. And a lot of times I ended the conversation with, man, I hope one day I get to work with you, man. That'd be awesome. And so just the way the Lord works, man, he brought everything full circle, and here we have this opportunity. And coming up here is like, I knew, it's like I know how it's going to be, but at the same time, like, man, I hope this is like not one of those situations where you hear about the Wizard of Oz, and then when
Mhm.
you get up there and it's just behind a big curtain, somebody's pulling a bunch of levers, a bunch of,
Got him.
Yeah,
man, it's
right.
like as authentic, man. This is as authentic of a group of people that I've been around, and to have this many people involved in just the culture that you have manifested here, man, as a team,
Mhm.
leadership, and of course it starts with you.
Mhm.
And I just want to give you guys kudos, man. I just hope that we can kind of carry that torch down there in the lower part of the
Yeah.
country and kind of keep it going.
I have 100%
You will.
confidence. Yeah.
You will. Well, dude, when he called me up, man, number one, I just want you to know, out of all the 171 episodes that we've done, you're one of my favorite guests that we had, just because I got the vibe when we got off the show with you that I was just like, that was a real dude.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like everything that we talked about, it was just authentic, and I just got that real vibe. So when he called and said that you were coming on, like, I'm a Cowboys fan, and I felt like we just got the first round pick. You know what I mean? Like I was like, dude, this is going to be huge for us.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Like that's a culturally motivated guy that cares about the culture, does things the right way as a man, everything like that's the biggest thing, man. Like you can fake it all you want in business, but if you don't have the internal ethics, if you don't have your shit together outside of business, you're going to carry that into your business. And like just having that vibe that I got from you on that episode, you were one of my favorite guests that we had. And just to have that down there, to open up that brick and mortar, to spread that culture, it's great, man. It's great. I'm super pumped to see what you do. For sure, man.
Yeah. Perfect fit.
Yeah, man.
Perfect fit, man. And definitely we got first round pick.
Absolutely.
On you, Ken. And when I tell everybody, the minute I met this guy at a Revolt retreat, and his message in his training that he went over, it was like, dude, I want to be a part of this guy's team. I want to be on this guy's team. Not necessarily I want this guy on our team. It was like, I want to be on this dude's team. I want to learn what he's got to say. And just the couple of days that we've been together and listening to, some of your training and your experiences, and life experiences, and how much we relate on so many different levels and stuff. And that question you asked me today, like, do you have any questions for me? And the way my response to you to that is I've seen enough to know that I trust you. And I told you about how my trust is. There's probably been people that had worked here for a little bit too long. And then, that it's because I trust them. They weren't very good at their job.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I trusted them. And that for me goes so much further than anything else. There's a lot that I can tolerate, but a liar, is not one of them. And I could probably even tolerate a thief a little more than I can a liar. Do you know what I'm saying? When you're lying to my face, at least when you're stealing, you're doing it behind my back, and ignorance is bliss, right? That's why I think I could tolerate that a little more, but not saying that you're the opposite on the end of the spectrum when it comes to anything like that, and the ethics and the hard work that I know that you're going to put in down there, and for you to accept that challenge. You said right away, I know this isn't going to be easy, right? And that you accepted that challenge, and that you're not going to be afraid of conquering the world down there with us. I'm excited to watch that grow. I'm excited to watch you grow. I'm excited to watch you build a team and the impact, like we talked about at the business meeting. It's the impact that we have here, but not just here, but now Ken has an opportunity to have an impact on his community and the people that he involves himself with down there. And then that trickle effect from there,
right?
Their families and their wives and their kids and everybody, from that standpoint. And that is huge. And Dan Barker the other day asked me, he said, hey, did you ever envision this being the way that it is today? And not to sound arrogant, I told him, yeah, that I did see this was my goal. I said, but it didn't happen as quick as I thought it was going to happen. Right. That's the only thing I didn't see. You know what I mean? Because when I had left my previous employer, I knew I was on a mission at that point in time. Now, did I fully understand what impact that was going to have? Did I fully understand how far it would go? No. But I did know that I wanted to build a dynasty, and that I wanted to surround myself around a lot of great people and impact their lives and impact their families and watch their families grow. Right. And this goes back over a decade ago when I went out on that mission to do what we're doing today. And it's not just about roofing. Roofing has been the vehicle. to get us where we want to go, right? And what we're doing and the impact that we're having on our friends, family, and the community. And not just that. And it goes a little deeper here, right? We're talking about distribution and manufacturing. We have an impact on them too, right? Like we're creating our own economy, you know, and we have, and it's giving me fucking goosebumps. The more I talk about this shit gets me choked up because no, I didn't see that part.
Right.
So let me rephrase, Dan, if you're watching, no, I didn't. You know what I mean? I did, but I didn't. I had no idea of the impact, right? Because I was probably money driven, more so status, not even money. It was the status thing where it was like, I'll show you when I left, right? I'll show you. It was a status thing, right? But then it became a purpose. I was purpose driven, right? You know, I almost killed myself because I was trying to drive this train too quick. Lost the brakes and, you know, almost had a head on collision. Right. But I think we all gotta kind of fall and bump our head a little bit.
Absolutely.
Take a half a baby step back so we can take 5 steps forward. Right. And it's not been easy. It's not been perfect. By no means has this thing been perfect. Have I said stupid things? Have I done stupid things? Absolutely. But for a knucklehead like me, 90% of the pain that I experienced today, self-inflicted pain, and through that pain comes growth, right? You can continuously tell me how to do something, what to do. I won't listen to you because I have a better way, a better idea. But then I usually come around and then I'll take the credit for what you were trying to tell me to do just because I'm a knucklehead like that, because it's never a good idea until I think it's a good idea, right? I'm human, right? I'm not perfect. Am I getting better? Yeah, I work on this shit every single day. I work on myself every single day. Yeah. Right. I'm not who I used to be. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not who I want to be, but I'm not who I used to be. Right. Either.
It's got to be better than you were yesterday, man. That's it.
Exactly. And maybe we can get a topic out of that. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, I've learned specifically probably over the last 24 months, probably back since COVID, you know, it doesn't really matter if you stumble per se. Okay. And the reason that I say that is everyone's going to stumble. You know, you're going to have hiccups. You're going to have bumps. You may take a couple steps backwards when you stumble. The real defining moments are how you gather yourself back up and push forward through those things. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to have moments of weakness, say things that they don't mean, do things that, you know, aren't the smartest things. But the recovery from that and what you do to acknowledge that and move forward from that and make the mental note of where you made your mistake and make the mental note of how not to make that mistake again. I mean, that's the real defining moment.
For sure. That's that learning moment.
If you're going hard enough, man, you're gonna make mistakes. Yeah. That's just part of it. You figure that into the equation.
Yeah. So and I mean, what's worth it? What out there have you ever done that is satisfying, that was just easy to get? You know what I mean? Everything that you work hard for, those are the most satisfying things that you get because you work so fucking hard for them.
Yeah.
That's where you get your satisfaction.
For sure.
Well, and like talking about when I said it wasn't going to be easy trying to build out, you know, what we're trying to do down in the Carolinas and Georgia is I know that it's going to be difficult, but here's the difference. Like I had a few things laid out in front of me. Okay, what's my next move going to be? But when you said about being the first round draft pick, there's a difference getting drafted by the New York Jets and getting drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And my bad, bro.
Hurting feelings over there, bro.
He strategically said.
I strategically said
New York Jets.
I mean, there's a difference because you know you're coming into not only. I mean, do the Steelers win the Super Bowl every year? No, but they have a culture where they believe it. You know, even when they went down as bad as they did last year, you know, Coach Tomlin kept saying the standard is the standard, man. The standard is the standard. I don't care if it's a third string quarterback, a rookie, or we got to put a damn high school kid in there. Like the standard is the standard, and that's what you live up to. And so to have that mindset, and I can see it from afar that that's you guys' standard. I mean, there's just a standard, and you don't even have to really talk about the standard. It's just understood when you're under this roof and when you put that logo on. You know what I mean? So just to be drafted into that situation, and it's like you want to go work just twice as hard because it's not just the people it's not just my immediate family, or it's not just the families and the people that I'm going to bring in into our team there to build down there, but it's also representative of what you guys hear. And I would be doing a disservice, you know what I mean, if I'm not, you know, carrying that torch, you know what I'm saying? So it fires me up, man. And if it's not difficult at this point in my life, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, if it gets too easy, I lose attention. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
I'm ready to go on to something else.
That's
Yeah.
right. You lose focus.
Dude, I think that you're going to do down there. I truly believe you're going to do down there what we do up here, if not better and more. Number one, because of the market down there.
Mhm.
Like you said, Ty, I mean, it's blowing up down there.
Yeah.
But you're going to get to see the impact that Ty was talking about. Like, you and your team are going to directly affect and provide a job for a forklift driver at a distribution company, because they're going to need to get all them damn shingles in the yard.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the trickle effect that you were talking about, Ty, on what we can do, it isn't just under this roof. You know what I mean? It's not just the subcontractors or the sales guys or their families. I mean, it's the distributors too, the
Yes.
employees that they have to hire there. You know, they may have to hire 2 more yard guys. They may have to hire another boom truck driver to be able to take on the beast that we are. You know, that's just what that is. And like you said, Ken, I mean, you don't have to go around and say that they're the best, man. The actions prove that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lions don't have
kinda
to say, hey,
touched
I'm a
on that.
lion. You know,
Yeah,
they're just
we kind of
lions.
touched on that. Just watch.
Yeah.
You know, just pay attention, because this is what we're about, and this is what we're doing. We don't have to toot it, tout it.
Tout it.
We don't have to shout it,
Would you say toot it?
toot it. That was what I did earlier. We don't have to shout it from the rooftops. You know, we definitely have always, not always.
Diego said y'all hired my dad.
Yeah, his daddy. We knew that. Steelers. Yeah, Janet's on there. Yeah. Let's do some shout outs here, man. Who's all on here? Mike Brown?
A lot of Facebook users.
Yeah, a lot of Facebook users. For whatever reason, that does that sometimes on. You know what's cool about this platform, though? So what you're seeing right now is on every single platform we post on. We get to see everybody all in one collective
that's awesome.
spot
It's
here.
really cool.
Yeah.
It's cool, man.
Yeah, there's Mike Brown. He's down in Maryland. He's one of, a huge fan follower of ours, client,
Been going
past,
since
previous, current client of ours that
probably 2.5 years now, man. He hasn't missed many episodes.
no, Troy Anderson's on there. I'm sure Tim Brown's out there. He might be one of those Facebook users I noticed a couple weeks ago. Diego, good to see you, brother. Thanks for tuning in here. Let me see if I can get on my phone. Jana Banana, love you. Lauren, Tyler Richardson, Keith Fisher, good to see you, brother. Vic, Mike Ippy, what's happening? David KX, behind the tool belts watching. Holy shit. Chris Mendez, good to see you. Donna King, all you guys, love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And a big shout out to our sponsors too. Hook Agency, www.hookagency.com. Check them out. I'm sure you saw the commercial early on. Lead Scout, www.leadscoutapp.com. Check them out if you want to know more about what they do, not just the canvassing app. If you want to know more, check them out. Who else? TC Backer, thank you for supporting us. And then we just picked up a new sponsor today that I should have told you guys about earlier, but Roofle, we picked up Roofle as a new sponsor.
Awesome.
Travis Horvago and Mike Goldstein and DeAndrea over there at Roofle. Great group of people. We're getting ready to roll that out. We'll launch that out. Ken, we'll get you up on speed on what that does. And the entire team, John's been heading that up for us. So big shout out to you guys. We wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. We wouldn't be able to travel the way that we travel. We wouldn't be motivated to continue to keep doing this every week, week in, week out, and come up with the content that we do. But you guys should probably start seeing either Travis, Mike Goldenstein, or somebody else from their tribe, at least on the show once a month. They're going to come on. That's part of their little sponsorship package. They're great people. They gel with us. They're right there with us. They're good people, man. I got to hang out with them a lot. We got to hang out with those guys. We traveled. They were at every single show that we were at. Yeah. Dinner every night. I mean, just great group. I can't say enough. Roofle,
awesome.
Kick ass. Yeah. Yeah.
The type of sponsors we're looking for, man.
Yeah. So they align well with our, personal and professional core values. So all good stuff. And way beyond that too. Just good goddamn people run a legit business over there. So trustworthy and transparent. So anyhow, what would Mike Brown say there, Chris?
He has been with us for about 2.5 to 3 years. He had an issue on his roof. Actually, I think, Mike, if I remember correctly, didn't you have a leak at your you had a safety anchor that was leaking, that wasn't done properly?
Jets.
I think me and Colin came down. They took solar panels off your roof. Me and Colin came down, inspected your roof, pulled that safety anchor out, replywooded that up. Solar company came back, actually, I think, put some solar panels back on. We re-inspected after that to make sure they didn't damage anything. And my man's been,
I think we put a front door in
he's
for him
been,
too.
yeah, dude, we've done all kinds of work for him.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's called us numerous times for stuff, and he'll randomly be in my inbox asking me questions about, you know, ventilation and that kind of stuff. And it's just, it's great, man. It's great being able to educate like that. That's one of our number one things with homeowners, whether you choose to use us or not, man. I mean, getting the education out there, that way homeowners can make informed decisions. That's important.
Right on. It is. It is. And for him to still stick around and watch and promote us and refer us to all his
he drives
neighbors.
up here to the home shows and stuff.
I know.
So,
And the 21 Turkey.
Yeah. So
That we do.
pretty cool.
Yeah, he's coming up from Baltimore to do that. So that's good stuff. That's why we do what we do, man. It's the impact. So, but so Ken, I guess I'm curious about like what are your plans? I mean, do you have a roadmap? I mean, I know we've talked about some plans and stuff and what the future looks like for you and TC Backer and your team down there. But for our viewers or somebody that might be that live in the Carolinas or even the Atlanta area, like give us what you think your vision is that you want to accomplish down there.
Well, we're setting up shop in Greenville, downtown Greenville as our hub. But you know, as we continue to grow, build our sales team, and build our range, we want to reach out as far as Atlanta, Charlotte, down to Columbia, up to Asheville, and that's in every aspect of roofing. I mean, we're talking about new construction, obviously storm damage, repair. You name it, man. It's like we're in it, we're in the game, man.
Yeah.
So, commercial. I mean, if it's there, if you got a roof, we're ready to work with you. So,
awesome.
In the process right now, I've been kind of recruiting
Mm-hmm.
and speaking to some guys and ladies and stuff, and trying to put my team together, man. And the great thing is, because of the team I was drafted by, I have a lot of ammo to throw at people. Say, hey, man, this is who we are, what we stand for, and so it's a lot easier to kind of recruit. And people want to be a part of it. And I'm fortunate enough that I've made a decent enough name, myself, that if I stand and say, hey, these guys are legit, and it's worth me taking my time to, pour myself into this, because everybody that knows me knows if I'm going in, man, I'm going hard in the paint. That's 100%.
All in.
And if they see that I'm throwing all my chips in, then they're like, hell yeah, man, let's go. So we got some people that's pretty fired up, ready to go.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
we're if you're interested, man, in joining the badass team, dude, like, we're putting it together.
So what are you looking for in a person? Like if you're gonna, potentially recruit someone, what's your top 3 traits? We'll just leave it at 3. What's your top 3 traits, your non-negotiables in somebody that you would bring onto this team? What's your top 3 non-negotiables?
Well, to me, first thing is just honesty, man. Like, I got to be able to trust you. Like you said, it's the same thing in sales, right? You got to build 2 things: trust and value.
Yeah.
So you got to sell me on that first, right? So
Right.
I got to trust you, and I got to value, and I'm going to value you if you are going to come in, and you don't even have to. Like, I'm looking forward to the stories, where, like me, I had nothing to do with roofs. I remember when I first talked to Hunter Ballou back in 2019. He was like, so tell me what you know about roofs. I said, do I get up there every now and then and blow my gutters out? That's about the extent of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. So I literally knew nothing about roofs. And 6 months later, I'd accomplished some pretty good things for a rookie. And I got a pretty decent amount of attention for it. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just being myself, being real, you know what I mean? And so I know what that authentic person can do. And if I can find people that are authentic, whether they're in the industry or out of the industry, man, I can coach you and get you there. I'm a coach by nature, so I look forward to that. So I can't wait to get a hold of the people that aren't even in this industry, that are just good people, that, I might meet them. They might wait on me at a table one night, and, you're just jiving with them and checking their personality, seeing, and then next thing you know, you're talking to them about, bigger opportunities. What's your big plans? And next thing you know, you done hired a guy that was waiting tables on you. You know what I mean? And and then next year he's going from making $40,000-$50,000 to making $150,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, that's what I envision. But I need, first, and going back to your question, is honesty. Obviously work ethic is major. And somebody that's driven, that has a purpose of what they get up, that they have goals and aspirations. They want to, move towards something. You know what I mean? Because, man, believe it or not, I mean, you guys know this, but like, this day and age, that's not a given, man. Some people are just like, cool, just to get up and how am I going to eat today?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I need people that are going to be driven, and not only by themselves and their own success, but that's why I feel good about the team that I've started to put together down there already. Is I feel like everybody, has their hand in the pile just to like, hey man, let's rally around, and everybody's like comes
Building
from
a
the
circle of
same,
safety.
yeah, man. They're
Yeah.
just like they're ready to go, man.
That's awesome.
And so we're already planning our cookouts and how we're gonna like bring on new guys and train them as a group. Like guys are fired up, man. So
Yeah.
but yeah,
I'm excited for you, man.
Heck yeah.
I really am. To watch that and to watch the excitement in your eyes and your face and your expressions is exciting for me to watch that selfishly. You know what I'm saying? Whether that might be some sick satisfaction that I get out of watching other people succeed, I don't know. But I love that. That's my motivation. That's my currency.
Yeah.
right.
You know what I mean? That's what motivates me to watch other people succeed. And that's why I wanted to ask you out loud and publicly, like, what are you looking for in a person? What do you want to achieve? And I know what that is, but I wanted everyone else to know, that way, if somebody's on here that's listening that might want to come work for us, I mean, the sky's the limit. It really is. And I told that to Chris, and Chris brings that up, and he reminds me that when I interviewed Chris, which my office was just back behind this wall back then, I told him that the sky's the limit, that however far you want to take this kid, we can take this.
Right.
And ever since then, that's pretty much my spiel. For somebody that comes on, it's like, how far do you want to go?
That's right.
How far do you want to take this? I'm not scared. Let's go.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to hold you back. I want to encourage you. I want to see you succeed. And the more that I encourage you, the better you're going to do. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's gonna benefit everybody,
Right.
around us.
Yeah.
One of the things that I always said, just going back into my coaching days, because I talked about this before, but to give you a concept of where my heart's at and how I lead and what my drive is, man, I always had, like, I would say mediocre paying jobs, just that gave me the freedom of my schedule so that I could coach. Because I was so driven to coach, man. I just loved it. And I coached 78 sports teams in 6 different sports, from high school, AAU, middle school, down to rec ball. Some basketball seasons I was coaching middle school, an AAU team, 2 church teams, and a rec team. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, wide open, dude. And like my middle school team.
And you're driving a beater that can barely get you to all these practices.
My middle school team, like, I was the only middle school in the county that I would record the games and do a stat spreadsheet. And the day after the game, we'd meet in the library and I'd be breaking down stats. And you know what I mean? Like, so, man, it's like I took it way too serious. But like, I don't know if you saw my Facebook post, a dude that, like, I went out last weekend. He's like, man, whenever I come to Greenville, I hook up with this dude. Like, that's one of my players. I coached him in 7th and 8th grade in middle school. And here he is, 34, 35 years old, and we're still tight. You know what I'm saying? Always pushing. But one of the things I always told my players is, if you give me what you got, I will not let you fail. I won't let you fail. Even at the middle school level, and we won. I wanted a school that had no business winning. They'd never won anything before. They didn't win a lot afterwards. And it was just because I loved on them kids, man. And but I felt like even the players that you would consider the worst players, like, I got them playing time. Like, you're going to play, because if you're selling out for me, I got to give you a paycheck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So your paycheck is I'm going to give you playing time. And even by working them in, even though it's not rec ball, like, you're trying to win.
Yeah.
And the same thing when I coached in high school. It's like, I'm going to get you playing time. And so I had to coach to where my worst player could contribute. That was always my mindset. You know what I'm saying? And that was hard on some kids. Like, when you go to some of these schools that don't have a lot of kids or come from money, they're not playing AAU basketball. They're just like street ball kids. And I'm carrying 12 to 15 kids, man. That 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th kid, man, that is a struggle, bro. Like, you're playing against another school from another side of town that's got, like, they got 8 players that all play AAU every weekend. And they're over there, like, jumping and dunking. Like, dude, we are the bad news bears of that, but yet we're beating them. And I'm beating them by getting kids 3, 4, 5 minutes of playing time that ain't got no business being on the court.
Yeah.
But it was my commitment to see them succeed. And if you come on my team, man, I'm telling you, I won't let you fail.
I love that.
Whether it's here or if I was coaching.
I love how that applies to this. And Chris, you talk about sports teams all the time. You want to tell us some about your analogy?
Yeah. I mean, I personally feel like next to the military, youth sports is the best thing for children to as far as like teaching camaraderie, teamwork, work ethic, accountability. You're not going to get that and anything else other than maybe the military. I mean, it just it gives you that brotherhood, that sense of I'm not going to let my brother down. I care more about you than I do me. You know what I mean? And like that's something that I've only ever experienced. I mean, I experienced it in sports. I played sports all through school and everything. But the only other thing that I can really compare it to is maybe the military. And I've never been overseas or anything like that. And I've never done any of that. But you know, anyone that I've ever talked to that has done both, it's a very comparable thing. Right. And I think it's very, very important to have something like that because it helps you in your life, man. I mean, and not only that, Ken, I mean, you just made a perfect example. You're still interacting with these people. You had an effect, a big impact on their life. Right. You know what I mean? You know, there's some people out there that play sports because it keeps them off the streets, or they don't have a dad. They don't have, you know, any parents that give a shit about them enough to want them to succeed. And sometimes coach is all they have, you know what I mean? And they don't want to let you down. Right. So to have that kind of impact and to be able to carry that on to a professional level, to build a team around that kind of environment, dude, that's a strong bond.
It don't even feel like you're working.
No,
like it literally, like
no,
it doesn't feel like you're working, man. It's just like you're living out your passion, and that passion comes in different forms, you know.
Yes.
Sometimes it's you know, I'm very competitive. You know, I was playing semi-pro football when I was 27, and that's like no insurance, like no pay half the time.
You break your leg, you're screwed, dude.
Guys, y'all know from football, the worst, the hardest thing to coach and get the job like as a team is an offensive line.
Yeah.
Now imagine we're a bunch of dudes that have like 45 different careers. We practice one night a week, then we play on Saturdays. Imagine what my offensive line looked like, bro. I played quarterback, so I was getting my ass handed to me on a regular basis, but I was so competitive, man. I loved it so much, man. I'm like, I'm in this, bro. So finally I got smart and changed over to flag football. But man, I'm competitive, and like we're not gonna win. I remember I just watched a documentary with Michael again. Man, I could watch that thing if I watched nothing for the rest of my life, but just on loop.
Yeah.
On The Last Dance with Michael Jordan. Yeah. Bro, like there's one part where he says something that I say all the time when somebody kind of doubts me. And I said, man, that's cute. Like, and like when I think somebody thinks I'm going to fail, I was like, that's cute. You know what I mean? It's like you say, you don't even have to talk shit about it. You don't have to like, that's cute, man. We'll see.
Yeah.
Like you just give that little wink.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for that fuel.
Yeah. That's all you need.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yep. I love it. Challenge accepted. Yep. That's what we say. That's Vic and a couple of us is, you know, we say challenge accepted. Tell us we can't do it.
Right.
We just accepted that challenge.
Right. I didn't even know that. And I posted that in my little post yesterday about what happened at the airport.
Yes.
When I couldn't make that guy laugh.
Yeah.
I said challenge accepted, but I didn't even know that was part of this thing.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yep. Challenge accepted, man.
So that's even more how I fit into the culture.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm a sports guy, man. I feel like it, you know, that it's a lot that can apply. You know, and with sports, I mean, how fortunate are we in the era that we grew up in to see all the changes in all the sports and all the great people that have come through and all the people that are able to influence in the platform that they have. And like, that's kind of how I compare what we do for the community and stuff. It's like, we have a platform that you have blessed us with to use. You know, what are we going to do with it?
That's right.
You know what I mean? And so far, I feel like we've exceeded all of our own expectations and what we're able to do for each other and the community and stuff around us. But like, you know, the sky's the limit, dude. Like I probably can't even fathom what this is going to be in 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
You know, with the exponential growth and what we've been able to build here and what goes on up in that shop every day, in that office. Just like you said, man, you know, at any given time you walk in there and you can hear conversations, you can hear laughter, you can hear people just having a good time, being productive, but still enjoying themselves. You know, people don't get up and they're like, oh my God, I gotta go to work.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of course, maybe we all have those days sometimes,
right,
where, you know, you're burnt or you're tired or you got beat up this week or whatever. But, you know, to still be at a place, you know, for as long as some of us have been here and still love what you do every day, and that hunger for that growth and everything, it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You know, and that's a juggling act that is continuously worked on. You know, if you're going to be an entrepreneur or you're going to be in some sort of leadership position, and a lot of times you just got to stay out of the way, right? You know, and let things come to fruition. Try to surround yourself around the right people, and being able to learn how to delegate, and you know, not be hard on people, right? Like, so what we've created, right? Like, so if somebody's running late in the morning, you know, they're stressed out, right? They're stressed out. They're running late for work, and the what has happened here is they're not stressed out because they're afraid that their supervisor is going to ride their ass. They're stressed out because they feel like they're letting their team down, right? Like, you're getting more production out of people when you don't set stupid guidelines, right? Like you kind of let them do what they got to do. We're all human. We all have families. Sometimes we got to leave early, right? But what happens is when you kind of have an atmosphere that we have, right? And it's kind of hard to explain. Like if you're writing a letter to someone, a letter of what was that letter that we wrote today? What's that called? To Kelly?
Offer letter?
An offer letter, right? Like, it's tough to put on the offer letter. Like what I was trying to explain, the only way that I can explain it to somebody, I guess, in a nutshell, and I kind of lost my train of thought there for a minute because I couldn't think of what the hell that letter was called. But like, there's more productivity that happens under that roof up there because of picking and choosing the battles wisely, right? Like, what are we going to hold you accountable to, right? Are we going to worry about if you're going to be late? Are we worried about because you're going to leave early? You know, little stupid things like that, where it's like clocking in and clocking out, and it's like, it's mandatory 40 hours a week, it's mandatory 60 hours a week, you got to do this, you got to do that. Well, when you kind of release those types of restrictions on people, because what happens is that creates anxiety within the workplace, right? When people know that it's like, okay, my start time, like, Chris, you know, for you, that you perform better when you show up at 6:30. We've had this discussion before, right? Like, if you don't get like that extra 30 minutes with your kid in the morning, or get him on the bus, or whatever that is, if we can't work around that schedule, you're not going to perform at your most best ability when you're at work. If you have to scramble and find a babysitter didn't show up to get Cam on the bus, or whatever the case might be, like Tam, she performs best showing up at TC Backer at 7 a.m., right? Because she's got kids.
Fits her situation.
It fits her situation best. Some people have to be here at 5:30 because they got to be home at 3:30 because they got to get their kids off the bus because their wife is still at home, right? So they get to leave early. So they get in early, but they got to get home early because their wife goes in later to work. So he's got to get home early because she's working later work, whatever that is. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, what happens is, it's like people they look out for each other and they keep themselves available. Even though I'm not here, you can still get a hold of me. And like, this whole work remote thing, I think the one good thing that came out of COVID, at least for us, right, is the ability to be able to work remote. Like, let's say their kids are sick. Well, we got it set up where everybody can work from home now. So we got a screen that's in the middle office there. So let's say Tam, and I'm going to use Tam as an example. Let's say her kids are sick, but her husband's got to go to work. She knows, right? And you've done this a couple times. Your kids are sick. Steph's got to work, right? Because her work atmosphere isn't structured like so she can't call off. She can't miss work. You know what I mean? She can't leave early. She can't come in late. Those kinds of things, right? But you know, you can stay at home, work on your computer, make sure your kids are happy and healthy.
Super clutch and numerous times, man.
Right.
Super clutch. You just hop on the monitor, and anyone can walk in that middle office at any point, and there you are on the monitor.
Yeah.
They can just talk.
That way you're still in the same, you're under
the
the same roof, right? If there's something going on and someone's got a question, they just go to the middle room, or they can get on their Google Calendar and just log right in at their desk. You know, here at work, if they needed to have a conversation with him. And it's kind of like an atmosphere that we've created where it's like they feel more bad because they're letting their team down, not necessarily letting me down, or they're going to be scolded or docked pay or any crazy thing like that. And it's like, we got to learn to pick and choose our battles. Why is this a battle that I choose because it's control? If you think about it, no, 5:30 start time, 5:30 p.m. is end time. That's it. You know what I mean? Well, when you're putting restrictions on people like that, like stupid guidelines like that on people, right? Then don't get me wrong, there'll be that 0.5% of people that might try to take advantage of that. Don't get me wrong. But I think for the most part, the shitheads have been weeded out because, like I told you before, if you don't fit the culture, we've simply let people go, not because of their work ethic, but because they don't fit the culture. You know what I mean? And there's a certain culture that we've built here. And I know this has kind of been our topic all night long, but I feel like we're kind of jiving on it here a little bit. But I think a lot of people don't, they can't figure it out, and it's kind of like it just kind of has fallen in our lap. It's just kind of like I felt like early on that wasn't the and what's crazy too, it's like we talk about this a lot too, is like, early on it was like I was the first one here and the last one to leave. Well, I can tell you right now, I'm not getting up any more fucking earlier than I do now, and I'm about the 4th or 5th person here in the morning. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's just that's just the standard. You know what I mean? That's all they knew when they first started working here. And guess what? Now I don't have to be the first one here anymore. You know what I mean? That's their standard now. That's just the normal for them.
You're talking about culture, and there's a lot of roofing companies, man. There's a lot of people that put gutters up. There's a lot of people that put in windows. Your company is your people, and your people are your culture. So everything that you do is centered back to one damn thing, and that's what we're talking about right now. It's your culture. That's what makes everything work, bro.
Absolutely.
You can have the greatest ideas and have shitty culture, and you ain't gonna be in business.
They're your biggest asset
because you're not going to be able to maintain and retain those people.
Absolutely.
And so the culture is the centerpiece of everything that you do.
Yeah.
I mean? So
and having that environment, Ty, that you were talking about, that freedom to be able to do that, I have zero anxiety when it comes to my schedule, because me being a semi-single dad, I mean, obviously I still have, the exes are in the picture and everything. But there's times that like I need to make sure that I get my kid on the bus. I am able to be there for him numerous days a week. I mean, kids, I feel like have half days or off once a week now. It's like, I don't have anxiety about that.
Yeah.
I know that what that freedom has done for me personally. And I know other people that are watching right now that are part of the team feel this too. I know that all I have to do is be like, hey guys, I gotta cut out at 2, or I gotta cut out at 3 today. What that has done for me is, at 7 o'clock when I put my son to bed, or 8 o'clock when I put my son to bed, I have zero problem hopping on and taking care of an hour of work that I wasn't able to get done. I had to leave it for. I have zero problem with that. You know what I mean? Sunday, my kid's playing all day. I'll put football on and I'll sit there and I'll work all damn day. You know what I mean? That's what that has created. I don't mind donating some of my time because I know that I have the freedom to make sure that I'm there for my children. You know what I mean? I grew up in an environment, you guys can probably relate. Dad was always working. You know what I mean? Dad was never around. Very rarely was able to make it to, I can't say that. My dad came to my sports games a lot, but like there was a lot of things that my dad wasn't able to do because he worked so much. Every Saturday he worked. I don't have to do that. You know what I mean? I can pick and choose, and I am able to mold my schedule around what works for me. And I know there's a lot of people up there that are able to do that too. And that's super important, man, to be able to be present for your team and be present at home at the same time. I get home and I don't have the stress like, oh my God, I had to cut out an hour early today. I had to get this bid submitted. Like, what am I going to do?
You're scared to see Ty the next day.
It's like, I know that I was able to go home,
try to sneak out.
Yeah. Handle my business, make dinner, be there for my kids.
But in reality too, like it's, what good is it if you say be here at 5:30 and they get here at 5:30 and they're still having to call to make sure the kid's picked up, and they're having to check their phone every damn 20 seconds, and you can't even really get dialed in on what you're doing till 7. Hell, just take care of your business, come in 6:30, take care of your business. Then when you're here, and the level of appreciation, and like you said, you don't mind because you had that freedom. Now they work for a company that cares about them, and they're not having to make a decision between family and their work. And it's like, it's all gelled together. And man, that's the best case scenario for everybody.
And isn't that why we do this?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And if you create a family like culture at work, it's all one. Like Chris and I talk about this all the time. I'm not one to use that. It's just strictly business. It's nothing personal. It's just business. Right. It's all personal. I mean, it really is. This is all personal. And let's face it, half the time we're here more than we are with our own families, right? Our immediate family, right? So why are we going to make this atmosphere miserable for us? We might as well make the best of it, work together as a team, and work hard and play hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And spend as much time as we possibly can with our families, because this is why we're doing what we're doing. We're doing this so we can raise our families, right? We can spend as much time as we possibly can. And sometimes we can't, but those times that we can spend with our families, we got to be real deliberate with it.
Right.
Mhm. Yep.
Very intentional.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Be real deliberate, whether it's that 30 minutes in the morning before you get them off to school. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's the most important time for your kids.
Dude, that's my favorite time with my son, man.
Right. And it's probably
when I'm
his
getting
too.
him ready. You know, we have a routine. You know, I get him ready in the morning. We go to Rofo. He gets either orders a sandwich or he gets a donut.
Mhm.
We get good chat on the way to school, and I'm zero pressure. I'm not like, oh my God, you got to get this ready. You got to do this.
Yeah.
I gotta be at work. You know, if I'm 15 minutes later than what I normally am, like, so be it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was very fortunate by my time my daughter came along. My boys, you know, a little older, and I had different jobs, whatever. But with my daughter, I actually took her to her daycare every day. So as we're going to daycare, she'd be in the front seat of my truck. It was just a cab, it didn't have a back seat. So we had her driving a work truck, and we would just listen to music. And I'm talking about the time she was 9-10 months old. I was taking her to that daycare, and we did that for like 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it was every day just taking her with me, and we would
Mhm.
just sit there, and we had like Sugarland was big back then. So she had this one, I had to play Sugarland, and she would just sing the whole dang album on the way to school.
Yeah.
But it was like those memories of passing by like the fire truck. If the fire truck was out or in, like
Mhm.
she'd scream if the fire truck was out. Like
Yeah.
all these crazy memories, man,
Yeah.
she built just from driving with her to work. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
it's just crazy. And then it's just knowing, and I was never in a hurry because by that point I kind of controlled my own schedule, and I could just kind of get there when I got there. But man, it those little things make such a big difference, man. And it's a lasting thing to her, you know.
Yeah.
She'll think about, like, see a fire truck, and she says, remember I used to see a fire truck? Like, and she's 16 now, but like there's so many things, man. When you get all this gray hair, you start looking back and reflecting on like what really mattered. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was those rides for 2 years of me taking her and dropping her off at daycare every day, and just having that time, getting her ready.
Mm-hmm.
And now getting her ready was different because I had to keep a water bottle, and like the third time you don't get up, you get squirted in the ear with a water bottle. Ask my boys, they got a lot
Tasers
worse
in my house.
So, but yeah, but once we got in the truck and cut the Sugarland on, then she was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
She's
course.
still drying water out of her ears, but you know, we made it happen. But man, it's you know, like I said, to be a culture where that's the way it should be done, man.
Yeah.
So
Let's change gears here a little bit. It looks like Heath says, what do you say about the whole nation? Where's that at? You have a great one there. He said, tell him about the whole nation. Where'd that go?
no, he's probably talking Noel Nation.
No
He's
nation.
a
Nation, yeah.
Seminole. We're Seminole
Seminole.
fans, and we're down in Clemson country. So he's closer to Clemson than I am. He's probably 20 minutes. I'm about 30. And being Seminole fans can get challenging.
It's a little rough down there. It's like being a Cowboys fan in
it's
South Central Pennsylvania.
It's about to, but here's the thing: it's about to not be rough.
Yeah.
It's about to not be rough.
Yep.
So I'm coming back with all my gear. I just got a new Seminole golf bag, golf head covers. I'm coming strong, baby.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm talking, and I'm going to all the courses out there near Clemson in Anderson County. Like I'm getting as close to them.
Carrie,
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
And you're taking your Seminole stuff with you?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Tommy Tough Guy coming in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. What I thought I saw Mike Goldstein said it's what's it doing down there? And
That's it. Somebody said it's hailing somewhere in
Yeah.
Houston.
Yeah, someone did say that. I saw that. Hail in Houston right now. Yeah, there you go.
yeah, I
Keith Mitchell.
thought Mike Goldstein said something. It's snowing in Minnesota again.
That's like saying it's raining in Seattle.
Yeah, imagine that. That's a
It's
good
hot in
dude.
Florida. The sun's out in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good dude right there, man.
Damn it, the sun's out again.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah, man. So Ken, I do have one more question for you. What do you think your biggest challenge is going to be? You know, is it something like, you know, personnel? Is it, you know, learning that area, you know, learning new construction, learning something, you know, that you're going to do? Is it, you know, the fear of letdown? Like what do you think your biggest challenge that you're going to have to overcome, either mentally or physically or whatever? Like, what do you think that's going to be for you?
I got two answers to that question. The real answer to me,
I want real.
that's the only way I bring it, man.
Yeah.
The real thing is like living up to my own expectations at the pace that I expect to do it at.
Yeah.
Because my challenge is beyond what you would expect for me. You know, we talked about some numbers today and what we thought we were going to look like, and in my head, I'm like way past that. Like, no, not if we do this, this, and this. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm, you know, always pushing for like something that's just going to be over the top. And that's, I set that as the bar. And then, you know, accepting that maybe we don't do 20 million our first year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm just throwing out something random, but like,
Of course.
I mean, people do crazy stuff and you put stuff together and big things can happen and everybody puts on their damn pants just like I do.
Yeah.
So if I join a team that has all these resources, then I have expectations that probably go beyond. I'd be scared to even mention them to my team coming in. Like I have to keep that internally under my own hat.
Yeah.
So I don't scare people off.
Right.
That's my, probably my biggest challenge is staying like the 6 inches between my ears, man, and just staying focused to where I don't let, because if you're doing that, you're setting yourself up for a few setbacks. You're setting yourself up for a couple of blows. You know what I'm saying? But I've got to, you know, kind of man the station. Everybody see me as being confident. And I know the markers we need to hit that are reasonable. And then I got my markers. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Yeah.
And so that's the, you know, honest, that's my honest answer.
Yeah.
Now, when you get down into like the business and the execution of things, there's aspects that you guys do in the industry that I've not been familiar with. The new construction, and honestly, like at the higher level of because we're not coming in with a team, like it's going to be me, one administrator, and then we're going to have a few sales guys. And from there, we have to figure out what everybody's doing in that building.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yep. Between the
so-
service department, service managers.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got to
Yeah.
put all that together.
Mhm.
And my strength, I feel like I'm very strong at, I can sell and I can teach people how to sell and I can control conversations and get people to do what I want them to do.
Mhm.
And that's got a great home in this industry.
Mhm.
But that's not all that what has, you know, when I put this hat on,
Yep.
there's a lot more that comes with that. And so those are going to be new challenges.
Mhm.
And so I'm having to learn as I'm moving. The only reason I decided to accept the challenge is because I feel like I have a team that's going to help me and be there for me to do so. So as long as I apply the work ethic and ask questions and don't sit back thinking I got to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
Again, that comes from this gray hair, man. You just learn to lean on your team.
Yes,
And
exactly.
The team atmosphere is why I'm here.
Yeah.
So even though that's gonna be the biggest challenge,
Mhm.
it's also the reason I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just know, man, you're only 8 hours away. You got some vets in the new construction industry, man, that would be more than happy to hop in a vehicle.
Oh yeah.
And there's plenty of people in this office that
Yeah.
drive down there for a week if we have to.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
help get that thing underway. And not only that, I mean, we've been on this make sure it's easily duplicatable thing for a while. And I feel like what we have going on up there is really easily duplicatable.
Right.
You know, give you the keys to the kingdom and show you how to do it, man. And it's I know you're gonna succeed.
For sure. For sure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no doubt. And like you said, just keep asking questions, right? Because we can't read your mind and we may not think of everything either. And you've asked some really good questions thus far, man. I mean, you know, again, this is kind of, I don't want to say new for us. It's new with the approach that we took on this route. And I told you how we kind of opened up the beach location and we were already working there.
Right.
We were managing it from a distance, which was kind of a struggle. So this time, and I don't know which way is putting the cart before the horse. I don't know which way was the right way or which way was the wrong way yet, but through this, we're going to gain experience and knowledge. I know that took, you know, there were some bumps in the road and we got some big bruises on our face.
Yeah.
From, you know, from just because it's work. If it was easy, everybody would be doing this, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we had we have a great team down there and a great support team up here. And there was a couple things I think a couple people didn't want to let go of because I don't think they understood that you know, I think between the insecurities of job security, you know, not realizing if I don't make this easily duplicatable, then I can't pass the torch to somebody else, and I won't be able to rise up through the ranks either.
Right.
But I think once everybody started to get like, hey, we're growing and there's room to grow here. There's room for me to be elevated through the ranks of the company here, right? Move further up that organizational chart. You know what I mean? And a lot of people have. And like I told you, Chris was hired to help with the books, right? Like I think that was about 3 days. He spent probably 3 days in that office.
Bob had me monkeying around through an attic trying to poke safety lines back through the thing.
Yeah.
And just chatting with my roof experience. I think it might have lasted 2 days that I was running books.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Thank God, because I did not want to do that the rest of my
And
life.
since then, he's had what, 3 or 4 different positions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some of which were all 3 positions at one time. You know what I mean? But that's what we do. We step in. We kind of talked about that too. It's kind of like we don't want to hear like it's not my job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know what your job's going to be tomorrow.
Right.
Meaning I don't know, because some days I'm a marriage counselor and some days I'm a TV repair dude. I mean, that's just what we signed up for here. You know what I'm saying? So
every now and then you sell a roof.
yeah, and every now and then we sell a roof. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to make payroll every now and again too. But we're here to help each other. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and I think once everybody got that, you know, and gets that, and it's like, okay, yeah, because I don't want to be stuck doing this all the time either. So I better document it, you know, what it is that I'm doing, right? And then try to figure out a way to streamline it. That way, if let's say I'm not here or I'm sick or I want to move on or somebody wants to move down to the Charlotte market, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. This has opened up so many other possibilities for so many people, not just locally.
Right.
That there, but here as well. At some point in time, Tina and Vic or Ippy might be like, yo, I'm just, you know, you care if I go ahead and move down to Charlotte? You know what I mean? And help Ken for a while. And, you know, and while I'm down here, do you care if I sniff around, I don't know. I don't want to say a town, but whatever area he decides to start sniffing around, you know, and
if it makes sense. It makes sense.
You know,
and
that's the thing. It's like, I would rather encourage and embrace them thoughts than, nah, man, we ain't ready to do that yet. And because of my own fear and insecurities. And it's kind of like, I don't have those fears and insecurities because I think Chris thinks it's a good idea.
Right.
That motivates me enough. You know what I mean? Right. And that's just it. Call me crazy, call me stupid. But I mean, that's just how this thing has grown.
Well, it goes back to what you said, what we've been talking about is trusting your team. You know, that he's, you know, earned your trust. And if he goes down there and sees, hey, here's this, and this is like, even when me and you talk, like the original conversation was, well, we'll open an office in Charlotte. I was like, dude, I can't, like, I'm an hour and 30 minutes from Charlotte. I can't really do that. I just got done with this Raleigh back and forth thing. And then it was like, well, we'll split the difference, maybe open something halfway. You know what I'm saying? I said, well, even with that, 85 is like a disaster. And I said, that doesn't really help us get back towards Atlanta. We're going the other way. I said, let's look at, like, I live here, so I would be able to manage it much easier. I've got more of a recruiting base of people that I actually know and have some connections with. I said, but we're also a freaking hub. And if you start researching it, man, we're as good as a place to be as anywhere right now down there. So then, you know, just, you know, you trusted me enough to start looking into it. Now you're excited about it. It wasn't like I just talked you in. Like now you're like, oh, hell yeah, Kenny's right. And so just the more people that you bring in, the more you're going to continue to grow because you have the mentality that you're going to bring them in, trust them, and listen to what they have to say. You know what I mean? And so that's, dude, people don't do that all the time. And that's why everybody gets stuck where the hell they're at and they can't grow and they can't, you know. And then it goes back to culture. Now I know I have a voice and anybody else that speaks up, they have a voice. You know what I mean? And so like here, day one, Mike was showing me through some stuff and I started asking a few questions. That's a good question. I didn't talk about that. And then he's calling, you know, the guy from Job Progress or whatever. And he's like, hey man, what about this? And like, just like I have a voice that says, hey, what about this? And it's just a different set of eyes. You're looking at it from a different angle, something you've not seen. And like the fact that you're at a company where immediately, well, hey, let's fix that. Like, and then it's reactive and it's just continuously going to evolve. So,
and you know, I think it's kind of good, the point that you came in. Because Ty, you mentioned about the other location that we did. You know, we have a place at the beach that was technically our first expansion location. Dude, we've developed so many processes in reaction to things that we realized that we didn't do right.
Mhm.
Right. Because let's face it, man, as much as we're growing, Ty, you've never had anything like this. None of
No.
us have any experience
Mhm.
doing anything more than what we're doing right now today.
Right.
Tomorrow, if we do more, none of us have experience doing
Yeah.
that much.
Yes.
So like we're gonna make mistakes, or we're gonna do things, and we're gonna give it hell for 6 months. We may say that shit don't work.
Mhm.
It doesn't work. Let's figure something else out. But there's enough people that care, and there's enough eyes on it, like you said, and a fresh set of eyes down there. Stuff that we do up here might not work down there.
Yeah.
There may be some things that we got to tweak in new construction
Mhm.
that we are able to get away with up here, and it works up here. But
codes are different, or
yeah,
inspections are
we
different.
may have to
something.
tweak something. We
Right.
may have to tweak a process, but we have experience and we have experienced enough things that didn't work
Mhm.
that I feel like we are able to overcome with our process. We built our process up so well
Mhm.
that we can mold to whatever we needed to mold to.
For
You know
sure,
what I mean?
for
By
sure.
by going through those trials and tribulations with the beach.
Mhm. Yeah, it was a good experience for us.
For sure.
Right.
Definitely.
Your
That's why.
strength, your strength is in your flexibility.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
you're not rigid. You're like strong because you're flexible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Be water. That's
Yeah.
what Bruce Lee says, man.
Yeah.
Be water.
Yep.
That's what he says.
Be
That's what's
real.
up.
Yeah.
Be real. So,
deal.
gosh, how far into this are we? Hour and 5 minutes. That flew
Hour,
by
5
quick.
minutes.
That wasn't so bad, was it, Ken?
No,
No, we just talked about real shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
for
know
sure.
what I mean? How we felt from the heart, and transparent and trustworthy.
Yeah.
And but it was a great show, Chris. I'm glad we're back home.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
I'm glad you're back in the studio. I'm glad we're back in the studio. Old Vicky Ticky Talk. I'm sure.
I like being able to see him now.
Yeah. Right.
Because my man's vertically challenged a little bit. And like I used to not be able to see him, and now I can just see his happy face poking up over top of
Right?
the monitor. I don't
Yeah.
know where Ippy is, but
Hippie's back there.
Mario and Luigi back there.
Yeah. Yeah. The Italian Stallions, man. Love those dudes.
Dude, I walked in here earlier when they were messing with these TVs,
Mhm.
freaking cuss words, and it's like I'm walking down a street of Jersey.
Yeah.
These Italian guys screaming at each other and yelling profanities and shit, and I'm like, what the hell are you Guidos doing down here?
Uh-huh. Guidos in a speedo. Yeah, it's been
It's
fun,
great, man.
man. This
It's
has
good.
been fun. This journey, I mean, is just all of it. All of it. It's been good stuff. I know I'm enjoying this ride. I'm looking forward to our next adventures and ideas and creativity that as a team collectively we can just come up with some really cool shit, man. I
Yeah.
mean, like let's have fun with this.
Yeah.
Right. Let's not take ourselves so goddamn serious.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm guilty of that at times. Right. We're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
We're gonna goof
Right.
up. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And who am I to judge anybody? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because there's not much that I haven't done, right, to myself or other people.
Yeah.
But we're all old enough and have been to the ringer and put ourselves through some shit. I think it's now time for us to surround ourselves around good people and just let's have some fun.
Hell yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Let's have some fun. Let's dominate. Let's crush it. Let's impact people's lives, homeowners' lives, our company,
Mhm.
people's lives, the neighborhoods that we're going to embark upon. You know what I mean? Let's let them know that we're there to help. Let's let them know that we're here to make an impact and that we're not going anywhere.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Right.
like you said about the TCB shirt tonight, hey man, should I wear my TCB shirt tonight? I'm a little worried that, people are going to think that it's a TCB show. And it's like, and what I meant is wherever we go,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They're going to know
Right.
TCB's here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it be a home show, whether it be RoofCon, whether it be, because that's how we roll.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're going to have fun when we're there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're
Love it.
going to kick it in the ass and we're going to have fun doing this the whole way. Is it going to be easy? Hell no. That's why they call it trudging the road to happy destiny, not tiptoeing through the fucking tulips.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to trudge the road. We're going to trudge the road to happy destiny here, man.
I love it.
And we're going to have fun doing it,
Hell yeah.
and that's what this is all about, man. Life's too goddamn short.
It is, man.
Anyhow, man, that's all I got tonight,
Yeah.
man. That's it.
It's been real.
Next time you see me, I'll have me a TCB tattoo somewhere.
Do it.
No, I'm just
Why not? We'll
Chuck got
fucking-
one
we
on
got to
his
come
neck,
up with
man.
Chuck,
another day.
a week into
A
it.
week into it, and Chuck got a Chuck in the truck tattoo on his neck.
Yeah, it says
I did
TCB.
see. Oh,
Looks like the meth head
Wow.
Charlie Brown.
Tell me,
in the
listen, you
truck,
thought
but-
Harley Davidson was badass, right? People get Harley tattoos.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers are walking around here with TCB tattoos, bro. That's serious.
Chucking the
I
truck,
can't do
man.
it. I love you, bro.
Let's
I love my
give
team.
it a week. Let's give it a week.
I got to get a Steeler. I'll have to get a Steeler before I get Steeler never gave me no money, so we'll see.
Right on,
Man,
man.
Stuff, man.
Right on. What a great episode.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm grateful for the entire team. I'm grateful for
Absolutely,
you, and I'm grateful for everybody. And I'm grateful for you all viewers still watching. I mean, shit, we still got 17 people an hour and 9 minutes into this at 18 now. I'm sure we could probably keep it at a steady 20, average 20 if we kept rolling. But it is Wednesday night. Tomorrow's Thursday. Next week will be episode 172. We should have a watermark up there that has Rufo on there. We appreciate them joining the team and the support that they're going to give us, and the products that they're kicking out to our industry and the impact that they're going to have in our industry. Lead Scout, it's just not a canvassing app. www.leadscoutapp.com. Hook Agency, hookagency.com. Check out Tim Brown over there at Hook Agency and TC Backer, your local contractor, no matter where we are. And at some point in time, we're going to rebrand this shit, and it's going to be America's #1 roofing contractor.
Hell yeah, man.
All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate all the love and support. You guys have a great night.
Yes.
Amen.
Peace.
Thanks.